It's a cold, but more importantly, cloudy day today, so it's a perfect day to talk about portable power station solar generators. I love them. Got a ton of them from all sorts of manufacturers. They work great, but they all have the same issue, the same Achilles heel. What do you do when there's no sun to recharge them? Because how they work is you buy one that's going to fit your needs. You use the sun, the solar panels to recharge them, fills that battery up, works great most of the time. But what do you do when you go an extended period when there is no sun and those batteries start getting low? That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you 3 ways to expand the capacity on any power station, regardless of size, regardless of manufacturer. So stay tuned, hang on, hang out. Let's get into this and have some fun. Now, the first way is probably the most common and it's so incredibly easy. You literally plug your portable power station into a gas generator. So you'd think that would be it. But there's actually a couple of things about it that we need to talk about. First of all, you want to make sure you use an inverter gas generator like this one. You don't want to use a traditional, conventional, open frame gas generator. They produce a modified sine wave that can hurt your sensitive and expensive portable power station solar generator. The second thing is you want to make sure you match your gas generator to your solar generator. And what I mean by that is every portable power station has a specific amount of AC that it can take in. For example, this OUPES Mega 2 can take 800 watts in on its lowest setting. Now this inverter gas generator can output about 12 to 1300 watts of power. So they're perfectly matched. Now if you had a larger portable power station like this one that can take 2000 or so watts in, well, you want to make sure you either use a larger inverter gas generator or adjust the AC in down a little bit so you don't overwhelm your inverter gas generator. The reason why a gas generator is so popular is because you don't have to buy those expensive external batteries that you're only going to use every now and then. This way you store your gas generator, a little bit of gas, and then when your solar panels are not outputting and your capacity is starting to get low, plug it in, you're good to go. Very common, very easy, very simple way of expanding the capacity of any portable power station solar generator. Now the second method is so incredibly cool, it's going to blow you away. This is a solar generator. It has a solar in, XT60, XT90, Anderson, whatever it is. Comes with a cable. Cable goes to MC4. MC4 goes to solar panels. The solar panels charge up the battery inside of it. That's how it works. It's a solar generator. There's an MPPT charge controller inside of it. Regulates this. Again, that's the design. But check this out. This unit, this MPPT charge controller, has no idea if you're attaching it to a solar panel or a battery. So what you can do, you can take that cable, put ring terminals on it, and attach it to a battery. Now it can't just be any kind of battery. It has to be a 48 volt battery. And believe it or not, this is actually a 48 volt battery that ironically enough came out of a power station that failed. And you could use a rack mounted battery. That's actually better because it has more capacity in it, but any 48 volt battery will work. I'm going to show you how simple it is to make this and to attach it and to expand the capacity of any portable power station solar generator. A lot of hacks out there, what they'll use is the expansion port of the power station, but not all power stations have an expansion port. For example, this Solarplay has no port for adding another battery to it. So this is the only way to add a battery to it. It's simple, easy, cost effective, and you're going to love it. Let me show you how to do it now. So step one is you take your cable, and I would recommend getting a second one. That way you don't harm your actual MC4 to XT whatever connector. But then you just snip off the ends and you attach ring terminals. Step one is very, very simple. Now once you have your ring terminals attached, then you just attach it to your battery. Now while we're here, let's talk about a few things. First of all, you want to make sure that your power station can take 60 volts of solar in. So the MPPT charge controller inside of it has to be able to take 60 volts because a fully charged 48 volt battery is close to 60 volts. But as long as your power station can take 60 volts, you're fine. That's the only consideration. So as I mentioned before, I'm showing this demo on a small 48 volt battery. These rack mounted batteries nowadays, they're $600. They have over 5,000 watt hours stored energy. They're just half the price of getting the expansion battery. And also, like I mentioned before, some portable power stations don't have an expansion port. Once those ring terminals are connected, you just plug it into solar in, but instead of solar in, it's a battery. And look at this. We get 700 watts of input coming in from the battery. So this is a simple, easy, cost-effective way of expanding the battery capacity on any portable power station solar generator, as long as it can take 60 watts of solar in. Doesn't matter if it has an expansion port, doesn't matter what company, doesn't matter what model. This works on everything. I love this solution to expand the capacity of your battery. Now the third way is using a 12 volt battery. And I know what you're thinking. Hold up there, Professor. You literally just told us like 10 seconds ago that you can't use a 12 volt battery. So what gives? Well, the reason why a 12 volt battery is not the best choice is because the MPPT charge controller inside some of these units can't take the lower voltage of a 12 volt battery. For example, this OUPES, it minimums 18. It just, if you hooked up a 12 volt battery, it's going to do nothing. And even if you have one that will take lower voltage, you know, the 12, 13, 14 volts that a 12 volt battery is going to do, like the Solarplay, it's still going to be so incredibly slow that it's just not a workable solution. So if you have 12 volt batteries and you want to use 12 volt batteries, how do you do it? Check this out. You get yourself a DC to DC converter. This thing's about 15, 20 bucks on Amazon, and it takes the 12 volt battery, bumps it up to 48 volt. You can get almost 500 watts out of it. So it's not quite as good as using a real 48 volt battery, but it is a very good solution if you have 12 volt batteries lying around and you want to use them. So you wire it up pretty much the same way as you did the other one. You hook up some terminals to the thicker wires, and then you get your XT90, XT60, Anderson, whatever connector that you're using to plug in to the solar in, you hook it up to the other side. And then you just hook up the terminals and plug it in. And that's what I'm going to do right now, show you. So you just hook up the terminals. And while I'm doing this, I want to make sure everybody understands this is a temporary setup for demonstration only. If you're doing this for real, you have to make sure you use a circuit breaker or a fuse between your battery and your power station. That's just critical. But it's very simple to do. Once these are hooked up, we're just going to plug in our cable. And we will start charging. Be just under 500 watts that we're going to bring in. So you can see it bounces around. We're going to get about 480. It's about the maximum that this will allow to come in. So it's not as good as using a 48 volt battery, like I mentioned, but it is a pretty good solution if you have 12 volt batteries lying around and you want to extend the capacity of your power station. And again, this Solarplay does not have an expansion port. So if you want to expand the capacity of this unit or other units, like this AllPowers, it doesn't have an expansion port either. So those expansion port hacks that you see, those are really cool, but they don't work on every model. This works on every model as long as the MPPT charge controller can take up to 60 volts. This is going to work on every power station out there. So it is. Well, there you go. There's 3 really good methods for expanding the capacity of any portable power station solar generator. So no matter what you have, you can find a method that works for you. If you have an inverter gas generator and some gas, perfect. Those days where your solar panels aren't filling it up and your capacity is running down, plug it in, good to go. You got extra 12-volt batteries, get yourself a DC to DC converter, you're good to go. And again, rack-mounted 48-volt battery, excellent choice. So what is your guys' favorite? What do you use? Let me tell you what I use. I love the 48-volt method. Now, I don't have a rack-mounted battery, but I do have a large DIY 48-volt battery bank. I have it connected to a solar charge controller and a good-sized solar array. That solar array fills up the battery bank. The battery bank feeds into my portable power station solar generator. That feeds into a load center that literally runs the buildings behind me. It works great for me. But again, I'd love to hear what you guys use. Do you like the expansion port hack? Do you like one of these methods? Do you have another method that you use? Love to hear your story. Please leave a comment below. If anybody has any questions about anything you've seen, please leave a comment below. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Talk to everyone soon.